Lekker guys, yeah. So what a interesting time to be around, and now end of our season, starting of the United States season. It's the perfect time to start searching around for your very next safari adventure in Africa. And I actually came across this portal when last year, when the massive discussion, the topic was all about South African hunters. Do they add value to the ecosystem and all that sort of stuff? And I was very, very fortunate to come across Hunting Portal. And joining me today on the podcast, and I'm super privileged, is Tabu Burger. Tabu, thanks so much for joining me. But I mean, I know you're a busy man, so setting some time aside there is always very, very special. But just traditionally getting into it, how did you start Hunting Portal? What was the brains behind it? And yeah, solving the problem that everyone probably has out there in the safari industry today.
Dylan, I think Hunting Portal, it kind of started like a lot of years ago. I grew up on a farm my whole life. Hunting's in my blood. Well, hunting is all of our bloods. We're actually three partners that runs Hunting Portal, and we were lifelong friends, and decided we wanted to tap into this industry and just see where we can help, especially the outfitters. I know a lot of outfitters struggle with the finance aspects of going overseas and going to the shows. So that's why we kind of started this whole Hunting Portal thing, is where for a very little amount of money you can still reach a massive audience, potential clients. So that was the whole brainwave behind Hunting Portal, and why we started is just to help people in the industry, because we all need a little bit of help every now and then, So that's basically why we started Hunting Portal, and just to have it as a lifestyle, because us three and the guys working for us, we all love the outdoors and the nature and the hunting, and it's more than just pulling the trigger. It's the whole camaraderie around the fires and laughing for each other and with each other, and yeah, I think that's important, just to keep that flame alive.
It's amazing to see that you guys have given this opportunity to everybody, all the outfitters out there, to be able to advertise their business on this portal. And I think it's a great way. I've always been an advocate for, when we're going to go over to these trade shows and stuff like that, for the guys to do as much research as possible, because anyone can sell a hunt in a booth and all that sort of stuff, but it's really the background deep dive that they have to do about reviews and all that sort of stuff. I wanted to find out from you straight off the bat, was your initial thought process behind it strictly just for Americans? I used it last year to source. I'm very big into the bow hunting now, so I try to source a bit of exotics within South Africa, and I was very surprised how easy it was to be able to utilize this portal within my own country for very own outfitters that have got access deer and Barbary sheep and stuff like that. So was the initial brainstorm behind it all about foreign and overseas hunters coming out to try and source their outfitters?
Yeah, Dylan, I think in the beginning, first off, it was going to be more focused on bow hunting and bow hunting outfitters. But then we thought, why keep it that small and restricted? I think the hunting industry is much bigger, even though bow hunting is quite big in overseas and not so much here. We thought the local South African or Africa outfitting companies would definitely see value in this, and it will just, I think, for them to sorry, say that question again.
So what was your guys' motivation? You said now that it was bow hunting, so was it just strictly to try and get the local hunters on board, or was it to try and get the broader international game involved as well?
No, we definitely planning on going global, and we are actually going global as we're speaking. We unlocking a lot of different or new regions, if you can say it like that, or countries. We're busy working on, I think it is New Zealand and Australia, getting all it's because there's a lot of data you got to get together and put into the platform. So it takes a bit of time, but we've got very good guys that's thorough in their work and check out every outfitting. Is it still running? Is it still up and running? And will it shoot Hunting Portal? So we're definitely going globally. At the moment, I think we're just under 5,000 outfitters. We kind of update the website every 500, so that's why we'll say 4,500 outfitters at the moment. But I think we're close to 5,000 already, so there's still a bit of outfitting businesses out there. But yeah, definitely going global, getting as much different species as we can on the platform. I think a lot of us don't even know some of these species exist, so if we can just make that not public but just expose people to those species. I'm very glad to hear that you've tried to go look for exotics on Hunting Portal, so that means it's working, so I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, no, it's a phenomenal tool, and I think I've realized as my career has gone on, portals and references such as this are going to become more and more important in the long game. I wanted to find out from you, what have some of the challenges been setting this whole process up? Because dealing with outfitters and hunters alike, it can't be the easiest task available, but what has some of the challenges been?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge we've had so far is just finding all the outfitters. I think we've been busy. We launched in beginning of this year, I think it was April, but before that we've been busy finding outfitters for a year and a half or so already. Guys been just searching. That's been a big challenge, and getting hold of the outfitters, because they're always out in the veld with no signal, and just to speak to them and communicate with them. But a lot of the guys are getting more tech savvy. There is still a couple of older generations that owns these outfitters that's not as tech savvy, but we've got a great team that helps them and step by step going through everything just to get their listing claimed. So yeah, the big deal is to claim your listing on our website, and then that gives us a verification, or that gives us a notification, and then we verify that outfitter through the email that was sent. So not every or random person can claim an outfitter, so we always want to verify that it is it's a running outfitting business. So yeah.
Talking about that, Tabu, I had a interesting discussion. I often have quite a few discussions with individuals online and stuff, and I came across some of the outfitters listed. Obviously, we don't want to mention too many names, but listed on your portal that in the past have been vetted for, let's not say dodgy dealings, but some unethical behavior from the greater community. How do you guys go about reviewing and making sure you're putting these outfitters on your guys' portal and making it a safe place for clients to essentially search these guys up and go through the process of actually vetting whether it's worth their time heading off to the specific outfitters or not?
Yeah, that's a good question. We will definitely not tolerate any unethical, illegal things that happen with that outfitting business. If we get any tips or leads on stuff like that, it's easy just to take an outfitting business off the platform and kind of block it, because you can also add your outfitting business by yourself. So as soon as that person is blocked, they can't submit their application, if that makes sense. So yeah, we haven't had any problems like that yet. We're still fairly new, but I'm sure with all the numbers that's going through the platform, sooner or later there'll be a problem coming our way. But yeah, we've got all the steps in order, and our main game or focus also is just so that the client will feel relaxed and that they can trust that outfitting business, because it's a big step for us going over to America to an outfitting business, or even Americans coming all the way to South Africa. They've got so many questions about safety and can they trust, and etc. etc. So it's a big deal to know that you're coming to a safe and secure place.
Yeah, and have you? I noticed, not right now, but there isn't space there for reviews or comments or anything about specific outfitters that I've played around with yet. Is that something you guys are looking into for the future?
100% no. So especially with the premium package. So we've got the two different packages. It's the basic free listing, and then obviously the premium listing there, where you get a lot more options. And we're busy working on it now, and we'll put in a review section. So because reviews is very important, and even like we might even put like a video review where a person can put it on, because anyone can type something great about their own business. So if we can put on a video review on their profile on Hunting Portal, then yeah, that's definitely something we're working on at the moment.
Okay. Awesome. There was also a section I pretty much really enjoyed, is your guys' blogging section. That was pretty cool. I thought that's a very unique little add to it. How does one get involved? So you've got two dynamics to the business. You've got the outfitter, and then obviously the client that utilizes the portal. But then there's also just basic information. There's some great information on the blogging side of things. So how have you guys decided to balance the business between all three entities?
Yeah, well, on the blogging side, that mainly steers, how can I say it, that pulls in the readers, or like the public, it pulls in the, what's that word? Audience. It attracts the audience to the site, and the blogging side, I think Gear Stats, we call it Gear Stats because there's no other website out there that I know of, and we've done a bit of researching, and where you can find that broad of a spectrum on hunting goods, hunting gear, everything in the hunting industry on one platform, on one blog post, or not post, but one website. And so at the moment we're just posting daily all the latest and greatest hunting gear that will, because a lot of times when you're planning your hunt, you don't think of this thing or that thing, and so that's just creating awareness on all the different gear that's out there, because there's so many.
Because essentially you guys are out there to try and make the clients searching for a safari just a much more enjoyable experience, right? So pretty much having like a one-stop shop to all the information available,
Yeah, we're planning on doing checklists. So we're planning on hunting Alaska or wherever, and then there'll be a checklist on the site on what to pack, all the have-tos and all the luxuries that you can add on if you need to, and that you can all find in one place, and why not?
So a big thing that I've picked up within the industry is personal attention to detail, or personal guidance through the process. How personal is Hunting Portal? I mean, we've heard some I've been in the industry now, like I said, for like 14 or 15 years now, and you hear some horrific stories of guys where agents have left them at airports and all this sort of stuff. So how personal is it that once the booking goes through you guys keep in touch with clients and make sure that their experience is as best as possible? And you are going to come up with snags, and how do you guys accommodate them in those, let's call them obstacles that they've got to overcome?
So the thing with Hunting Portal is we set it up in a way that we mainly just facilitate the two parties. We steer the interested parties to that outfitting business. We don't get involved with the planning or the communication between the client and the outfitter. So we basically just create awareness around that outfitting business, and so the client can directly communicate with the outfitting company. So there's no agencies involved. There's no commission involved. We don't get any commission on any hunts booked. It's literally just a small yearly fee that the outfitting pays us for being on the platform. And so the communication between the client and the outfitting is their baby. And so I think that will give the client a lot more peace at mind if they speak to the direct source than having to go through agent. And there's so many different communication channels going on back and forth, that communication will get lost in those channels, where if you speak to the owner directly, coming out of his mouth and stuff, you've got something to stand on as a client, but what all was said and what was agreed upon, etc., etc. I know there's contracts in place, but I mean, just to have peace of mind going to a place is, I think, massive. Definitely a major aspect.
So what is some of the how difficult, or what is some of the work that you guys are doing to attract those overseas clients on behalf of the outfitters this side?
So the blog post is definitely a big thing. We've got a couple of thousand readers every day going through the site, coming for that blog post, and then through the blog post they'll go and explore the site and scroll through the outfitting. So we made it so easy that it's like going on Instagram, scrolling through your feed, and you can literally go and scroll through the website looking at thousands of outfitters. And you can also make it focused to a certain area. If you just type in, there's a bar for a region and animal, etc. And if you just type in your preferred suggestions in that blocks, then the search engine will just accumulate all of that information and just pop out all the outfitters that needs to be in front of your eyes, for you to make the right decision. Don't pick the first outfit that pops up. Scroll through them, go through them, because as a PH as well, not all clients will fit in with a specific outfitter. Every personality is different, so just to scroll through all of the options and take your time and just find the best outfitting business for your, because it's your trip that you're planning and paying a lot of money. So it's an important decision. On that, what and I don't mean to hold you to any direct numbers or anything like this, but just out of curiosity, what are some of your dynamics? Where are majority of those people that are visiting your site coming from? Are they from the States, South Africa, abroad? At the moment, definitely everything. Most of them are from overseas. America is a big chunk of it. Funny enough, Russia, I know Russian guys like to hunt. A big chunk of that's coming from Russia. And then a little bit of Canada is also appearing on there. And then obviously our local South African guys are creeping up slowly, but also busy using. Because for this local South African audience, it's difficult for them to go for a hunt overseas, and then to book a hunt with an outfitting in South Africa, most of those outfitters are quite pricey. So for us meat hunters, we kind of know someone that knows someone, and you normally stick with that farm your whole life and just go hunt there. But so our main focus is international.
That was an interesting point, and I think I was going to ask you this somehow. But do you think that's an area of interest, especially for Hunting Portal? I think it's such a great tool because I've had a number of podcasts where we've discussed that hunting places. Traditionally, like you said, we contact the sheep farmer down the road and say, well, I need to come and shoot a kudu or something. I need to fill up the freezer or something. You know what I mean? Is that an area of interest for you guys? Maybe to consider that there are places where meat hunters could go to, or an option on the portal to have for meat hunters.
Yeah, I know the meat hunting industry is quite big in South Africa. It brings in a lot of revenue, and most of the guys already got their place to go to, but I think it's an option to look into to list those. Make like a little section for local meat hunters or management hunts or whatever, so it's not all just focused on trophies and etc. But yeah, we can definitely look into adding something like that in the future on Hunting Portal. It's a good idea, I think, just to involve. Because I've started, this is now a little bit off topic, but a couple of years ago I started this thing called Win a Hunt, where I felt like for us local South Africans, it's impossible to hunt your dream animal. It's so expensive, and if you don't know someone that's got like an ill sable or something that needs to get rid of, you're not going to be able to hunt that animal. And with that business, I started Win a Hunt. It was like a lottery system where you buy a tag or whatever, and there'll be a draw at the end of every month for a lucky winner to win this whole hunt. That's everything's included. Sorry, just something phoning me. So just to give the opportunity to us local people to hunt our own animals, because like I'm a PH, I've been exposed to so many different farms, but for me to go and hunt those places, yeah, it's expensive, and just to give the opportunity to someone to make their dream come true, because you got a dream, I've got a dream to hunt a specific animal, but we'll probably save 10 years to hunt that animal. But if you don't know someone,
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost become impossibly expensive for local hunters to experience what overseas guys get to experience on a regular basis. And I mean, I've always tried to be optimistic about the opportunity for that to kind of turn on itself, which I hope one day it happens and it allows for more of us to be able to experience a sable hunt or something like that. I mean, we do get to experience it as professional hunters quite often, but to do it yourself, it's a hell of a thing. But so what I wanted to chat to you about being a professional hunter. We know that reviews, and I mentioned reviews on the website and stuff. Is there space for Hunting Portal to have professional hunter profile on the platform? I'll be honest with you, during COVID, this was one of my ideas I kind of thought of, exactly how Hunting Portal is structured. A great place for hunters from overseas to come to, find their ideal situation and go and hunt there. But also one of the biggest things is because I think as professional hunters, there's a lot of guys out there that want to differentiate themselves from one another, because I think we're more than 1,800 registered PHs at the moment. And so how do you differentiate yourself in such a saturated market, through photos and experiences and all this sort of stuff? So do you think in the Hunting Portal side of things there might be an opportunity for professional hunters because it's also difficult to find work, and if they've got a good review possibly outfitters could look to them to take out their clients and share their clients with them.
Yeah, no, we've actually got it in our cards for a PH marketplace, where you can kind of shop a PH. It sounds bad, but I mean, have a program where the PHs that's listed on the platform is background checked, etc. Maybe do a little course with them, because that first 10 days of your PH course, you still know nothing, and to go step into a big outfitting business and start handling clients, it's a big risk, and there's definitely space, and we are working on that at the moment, to have a PH marketplace set up where that PH will be verified through a specific standard, and you can go and look, because a lot of outfitters they struggle to find good PHs, and when they do, they kind of hang on to them, and then there's a lot of other good outfitters, other good PHs that's not getting work because all the outfitters are kind of fully booked. But definitely there's space for that, 100%. No, I agree completely.
No, that's awesome. Tabu, I'm an Eastern Cape boy. You're an Eastern Cape boy, so I don't want to be too biased, but you've got the stats. Where's the most searched area for hunting opportunities at the moment? Is the Eastern Cape toppling the Limpopo region, or is it not there yet?
No, it's neck on neck, definitely. Back in the day, Eastern Cape wasn't really a thought of a place to go hunt, but it's getting a lot more popular, especially with the big biodiversity we have here. Like on one farm, you can hunt a savanna, you can hunt forest. It's so crazy, and Eastern Cape is definitely booming. Yeah, I would say because the majority of outfitters is still up and top there. They still get a lot of search on the platform, but Eastern Cape is not far behind. It's getting more and more popular, and like I've had a guy that runs a outfitting company. Looked for a certain animal, or he wanted to shoot a certain animal, but all the connections he knew, the quota was done, or they just didn't have anymore. And then he kind of went to go look in the Western Cape, funny enough, and the Western Cape never struck us as a hunting destination, but even the Western Cape is getting more and more outfitting companies popping up, and he found the animal he was looking for in the Western Cape, so they had to organize to go there. And so I think South Africa as a whole is seeing this opportunity in the hunting industry.
What is your opinion? And I know you guys have been operating for a short period of time now, but what is your opinion on the hunting industry? Are we seeing growth, or is it something that's kind of just hit a bit of a plateau and kind of stayed there?
I don't know. I think it's growing. If you look at gender. Normally hunting was a male thing. Now it's a female. Like females are going crazy for hunting, and that just adds more hunters. And I think it's great. So one day, hopefully, my wife sees someone that she's following that's hunting, and she gets interested, and then then we all can start hunting together. And like the kids are getting more involved. I think it's great, for sure. Especially social media makes it look like it's growing at the moment. But I'm happy to see that the women are taking big stages. They've got big following in the hunting industry. They probably get more slack with than us. But I mean, they must keep at it. It's awesome to see.
I mean, I can't agree with you more. It's absolutely mind-boggling how the female side of hunting has grown, and Henri, for once, my partner, she's an avid hunter, and the worst part is she shoots better than me, and she shooting shooting bigger, more bigger animals than me. So for me, it's a little bit frustrating, but it's a win-win definitely. But yeah, I wanted to. Well, that's the thing. You know, there's no pressure on them. So, and although just. No, yes, and I've got 2 daughters, so I can only imagine what my hunting bill is going to look like in the next couple of years. um, but Tabu, it's so great to chat to you, and I wanted to get your opinion on this. And I recently went to the Kruger Park. It's been a big bucket list thing for me, and I'm definitely going to have a lot more conversations with guides within the Kruger and stuff, because I was, to be honest with you, I was actually a little bit horrified with kind of what's going on there, and more down south from Skukuza than anything else, is just the sheer overpopulation of species and animals in the Kruger Park. And I think it's actually doing a lot more damage than what we can imagine. But when you look at the amount of outfitters, and I mean, I just briefly scrolled through the portal, and I was gobsmacked with how many red dots were all over South Africa. But I can't help but think how many of those guys have done incredible work in preserving the wildlife and the species going forward. So is that something you see more of? Are there more ethical guys holding the fort down for us to bring these species alive? You mentioned Western Cape. I recently went down to the Western Cape to hunt a Cape Graceback, and the numbers of the Cape Graceback that we hunted on that specific property were absolutely mind-blowing. And this was on a citrus farm. So I asked Oom, I said to him, Oom, how the hell have you guys got these numbers on? And he says, well, we realized the value of the game, and my staff realized it, so they get reimbursed, so there's no poaching whatsoever anymore, and how they've changed their whole harvesting pattern to preserve the wildlife on the ground, instead of just bashing machines through and shaking trees out and all that sort of stuff. They've done a more conservative approach to it. So I was really, really impressed with how they've preserved these animals for hunters. So now, bearing the question, how is your opinion on the hunting industry as a whole preserved these massive, vast varieties of land?
I think it's becoming a trend where people are focusing on looking after the animals, which is a great trend to go on, and a great thing that's happening. A lot more guys are putting the tape away and just focusing on maturity of the animal that they're hunting. Because back in the day, if the tape measure wasn't in your pocket, then what are you doing? You know, now it's all about age and getting the young guns to start doing their thing and getting the groups, the numbers expanding. And yeah, I think everyone is playing a role in doing their job of keeping the numbers up high. And that's a constant battle that we're facing. You know, is the fight between us and the other side. Try not to name, the greenies. We got to keep showing them proof, you know. So I think everyone's doing their part, and it sucks that we have to keep explaining ourselves and all that kind of stuff, and not just be and have the proof on it. Like, it's out there, but they kind of just research one side of things. But yeah, I think we're all pulling our part and doing our part, and yeah, I think the numbers are definitely growing. And we've just, in the Eastern, we're preserving for sure. No, 100%.
What, getting back to the hunting portal now, what is required to enter as an outfitter?
Yeah, requirements, you have to have an outfitting business, you have to have your outfitting permits, and it's not a lot that you need: email, phone number, website. We've got guys that can build a website for you if you need one. That's also one thing that we offer is on the socials, on the marketing side, is building your website over. I know there's not a lot of templates out there that accompanies the hunting industry. So we've got guys in Canada that's building all the websites for us. If you need a redo on your website, and focus mainly on a hunting look, if that makes sense.
And from a client's perspective, when I would like to think any first timers coming out to South Africa would need to definitely use this. But what more can Hunting Portal offer to the guy that's been out here numerous amounts of times? How can they benefit off utilizing the portal?
You're talking about the customer?
Yeah, the customer coming back. He's been to Africa once or twice. How can he benefit using that portal?
I think a lot of people, you're kind of scared of change, so you kind of go back to the same outfitting year over year. You build a relationship for many years, which is great, and it's great for the outfitter. But with Hunting Portal, you never know. You can find another outfitting that's gives you a little bit of a different feel to the whole hunting story. So for the clients, I think just spend some time on the platform, scroll through a couple of outfitters. You never know what other outfitters out there, and maybe they can be your next 10 years of going to them and experience South Africa in a different way. South Africa's got so much to offer, and even though we're also focusing on international outfittings and all that stuff in America and Canada, etc., there's a lot of different outfitters there also, that if you stay with one outfitting business the whole time, you don't get to experience other things. That outfitting business got their little thing they always do, and they know it works. They don't really change up things, so you experience the same thing over and over again, which is not bad, but I mean, there's so much more that you can experience in the hunting industry, and it's massive. Like, even me being a PH, I haven't experienced everything yet, so and I've experienced quite a lot, you yourself. So I would say don't be afraid of searching and exploring, and just find out new outfitting businesses, or like new outfitters. You never know what will open up.
How would you encourage that? Because you've hit a great topic there, and I actually did a little bit of a deep dive the other day, where I figured out that more than majority of the outfitters out there have 70 to 80% return rate on clients, which I think is phenomenal, which means these guys keep coming out to South Africa. But how would you encourage individuals to come out and experience? We've spoken about Limpopo, we've spoken about Eastern Cape, but even Northern Cape, Western Cape, that sort of stuff. Because it's fear that's holding them back, I'm sure, right?
No, it's fear that's holding them back, for sure. That's why I always encourage the outfitters to have, if they become a premium lister, they can do so much on their profile to attract potential clients, like interviewing your PHs. Then that client will know, I can gel with that PH, that one sounds a bit funny, whatever, Interview staff members, make videos of your lodging, just make it more appealing to the potential clients. I think there's a lot the outfitter can do on their profile with being a premium lister, where the basic lister, there's a profile picture, there's basic contact information and what animals they have to offer. But with the premium, you can do a lot with video, and you build trust over seeing a operation in live or in video form, if that makes sense. So I would advise them just to create videos about your staff members, your PHs, your lodging, and put it on your profile, and that will attract the right kind of crowd to you.
Yeah. Before I ask the next question, how's your battery life, dude?
It looks good. Let me just have a look. I'm on 35%. Yeah, so I think we still have a couple of minutes. But do you think I should, maybe on like 10 minutes, it'll do like a little red flash and I'll change it up.
Okay. So my next question would have been is what do those different packages look like? So if you could just walk us through that, and then maybe give us some costings if you can, on the different subscriptions or profiles that we can open up.
So we've got 2 different packages. We kept it as basic as possible, so the guy that doesn't know how to run a laptop can still find his way on our platform. So we've got basically a basic free listing, where it's just the necessary information, contact details, etc., and where they are located on the map. And then with premium, there's so much more you can do. You've got a drop down section where you can have all your packages that you run on your website is there, all your specials. You have a trophy room gallery where you can post daily all your trophies that's been hunted. You've got a place where you can show your accommodation to everyone. And then we're working on the review section, and the YouTube is there, so your YouTube channel is linked from your profile to your YouTube channel. So you can advertise all your latest YouTube videos on there as well. And then you've got a Facebook scroll section on the side where you can just scroll through your Facebook as well. And then people can be informed with all the latest things that you've been doing on Facebook as well. So premium listing, you do get a lot more value with your profile, for sure. And then
top where everyone can come and source out the best of the outfitter.
Exactly. Because I know if you search on Google, you don't find everything that you need to find about that specific outfitter. And with here, everything is on one place. And then we also have a website, like building a website section, which is, I think, a lot cheaper than most website companies out there that charge a premium. I think we're on $2,500, and we will rebuild your whole website. It will be a one-on-one session, phone calls, etc., with you and the client. So we do that as well. And we were thinking of doing social media managing, but if the numbers get high, it gets a bit crazy. But we're always here to help out if you need a question. We've got guys 24/7 that's available. If you need to do a schedule phone call or anything that you need, we are here.
No, that's awesome. It's very, very epic, and I just think it's so important in nowadays to utilize platforms like this, because I always tell people you can never do too much research and homework about outfitters and things. Are there any recommendations that you guys do in accessing different lodges and stuff as far as flight plans is concerned, or do you leave that up to the clients and the outfitters to deal with, like you mentioned earlier?
Yeah, no, that's all up to them. We're not getting too much involved with the planning of everything, so we mainly just facilitate the stuff. Yeah, so.
And there's no commission from the booking side, and there's no subscription or anything from the clientele side, right? They don't need to be subscribed to your guys' website.
Public, they can do whatever they want to do on the website. There's no fee for them, and yeah, we take no commission. So we're not an agency. Because I know a lot of the outfitters, they lose out quite a bit of money when agency is involved, because obviously you have to pay them, etc. and so on. So yeah, no commission, just a small yearly fee. We always say it's like a steenbak, and your yearly fee is paid for. So it's small. So I think if you book one hunt in 5 years through our website, which is a very long time, you're still winning. So yeah, we try to make it as small as possible, and so that everyone can afford it. And yeah, off record, we do help other. Can I say that? We do help some guys if they're struggling just with a better fee, especially for South African guys. But we're not posting that on our website, so that's just off record.
It's so awesome to be able to log on, because I kind of with many different platforms that I've been involved with. Yeah, there's always these hidden costs, right? Even for us, sometimes when just to write a blog for africanhunting.com or whatever it may be, it costs you X amount of money or anything like that to put a little review up or anything. I utilize a lot of platforms for podcasting ideas and all that. So it's so great to see that I could log onto a portal and really just have complete free reign of it, search whatever I want, search wherever I want to go. Different species, and it's fantastic. We've mentioned a couple of exciting things that you guys have on Brainstorm Banks, but what can we look forward to for the future for Hunting Portal? What are some of the cool ideas that you guys have got in the process?
Yeah, we've got a YouTube channel that we want to get going. Film a couple of hunts and stuff like that. So the YouTube channel will soon be up and running, and then we're also planning on doing a podcast section. You'll see that actually on the website coming soon. We're just busy we've got a warehouse in some France that we're just busy setting up to have a nice little studio there, and like a cool guys room, with guns and what have you. Just make it look cool. And then just getting involved with the industry, becoming members here and there, and just dive into the industry that's hunting, and get involved as much as possible. Also do a bit of charity here and there, help out a couple of guys. So we've got a couple of plans. We've got an app coming out soon that we're working on just for the blog section, where you can just scroll endlessly through all the gear that's being posted daily. So that's in the works. That should be soon. That should be going live soon. I think we at the finishing touches with that one. So yeah, that's about the plans for the next couple of months, year or so.
That's awesome. And then just to touch briefly on it, I picked it up on the Hunting Portal, is the taxidermy side of things. Is that very much similar to the outfitters, or is that a complete new setup altogether?
No, it's the same as the outfitters. Just there's not as many taxidermies as outfitters, so it kind of falls out of the picture. But we are definitely creating profiles for taxidermists as well, because that's also something that you need to plan. So here we say again, you can plan everything on one platform. You can plan your hunt, you can plan your gear, and you can plan where you're going to be doing your taxidermy. So having that all in one little space, that just helps the hunter just to feel more at peace, So the taxidermy is definitely the same as the outfitting side of things. Also have the profile, can also choose between the two packages, and etc. And yeah. So
we're seeing more and more year on year individuals coming out and utilizing our local South Africans. Is it something that you've seen online that the guys have been more interested in utilizing South African taxidermists for their hunts?
Yeah, no, I would say that's true because at the end of the day, our local taxidermist is involved with our kind of animals. They work with it daily, so they know exactly their behavior, the way they look, etc., etc. So obviously, some of the guys have their go-to taxidermists all the years, but don't miss the local South African taxidermist, or just don't exclude it out of your mind. How can I say it? Just don't throw that idea away. They do exceptional work, and then obviously there's a couple of crazy ones out there that we've all seen. But yet again, on the profile, they can share a bit of their work with everyone, and then that will just give you more peace of mind that you're at the right place.
Tabu, it's been an absolute honor to have you on here, but I mean, I've literally, I can't tell you how enjoyable scrolling through hunting portals been for me personally, but just out of curiosity, it's been an absolute breathtaking experience. I mean, I got to say thank you so much for everything you do for the industry. It's definitely extremely needed. It's a wonderful space for hunters to come out and utilize, and I'm sure by the day you guys are trying to make it as authentic as possible, but also keeping in mind the clients are well looked after, so that everybody on there, they know they're going to have the best possible experience in South Africa. Again, thank you.
Right back at you as well. I've been following you for quite a few years, and the impact you have in this industry. You guys, people like you, give us these ideas, just to run with it. And so I want to thank you, and it's also a privilege to be on your podcast. And I'm looking forward to future chats with you, and maybe in person, because we all live in the Eastern Cape and not too far apart. So yeah, thank you for having me on here as well. It's been a privilege.
No, awesome. But then definitely our next one is somewhere there in Jeffreys Bay, in the beautiful coast of Jeffreys Bay. I love that area. I love PE. I love all that. So yeah, we'll definitely make a trip down and utilize it to the best. But I know there are going to be so many questions coming through on my platform, and I hope yours too as well, about how more people can get involved and how we can grow this platform to the next level. And I want to wish you all the best. Thank you once again, and yeah, we'll chat soon.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.